Hello, in this video I'm going to talk about how to get the leads to dig up the Spaulder of Ruin Mythic. So if you don't have this Mythic dug up and in your collections, I'm talking about this Mythic because the Greymoor chapter that had Scrying tied to it is going to become base game in the near future in Update 51. Update 51 launches on September 28th of 2026. As of right now, that's what it's scheduled to do. I'm not sure if the Greymoor chapter being base game is going to be an immediate implementation, but in any rate, you can farm the leads ahead of time and kind of stack up some leads for when that flip happens, so that when the switch is made, you can actually hit the ground running and go dig up a lot of different mythics if you want to. This is a very powerful mythic for support specifically. You can give your group 260 weapon and spell damage that is unique. Just keep in mind, well, you have every person that's standing in your ring is going to reduce your recoveries by 70. So if you're in a 4-man dungeon, for example, your recoveries are going to be reduced by 210. So keep that in mind. A very good monster set to wear with this to kind of counteract that is the Magma Incarnate one-piece monster set, because it gives you both Magicka and stamina recoveries, so that will counteract that, and that comes from the Dread Seller. So the one piece is the good component to have with that to kind of counteract that 210. This will be at 129 per recovery when it's golded out. So doesn't take care of everything, but it takes care of a good portion of it. So to get into the leads, I'm going to talk about how to get it, and then everything is dug up in the Deadlands. So if you go to your journal, you go to your Antiquity Codex. You may not be able to go into the scryable stuff here, but you can always look at the Codex here. You go to DLC areas and then come down to the Deadlands, and then you go hit your select button there, and then come all the way down. If you have not dug up any of the leads, then this will not be listed like this, but because I already have it, it's listed. If you want to see what each of these leads are called, you can hit the fragment button or square button on PlayStation. Whatever corresponding button it is for your platform, you'll have to figure that out. On the PlayStation, it's the square button, and that will take you into this menu here where you can actually look at each of the names for the leads. And then this is going to be the first mythic that we do, the Petrified Daedroth Horn. And this drops from the Abomination Cradle world boss. And so I'm going to show you how to get that lead right there. You go to the Deadlands. So if you don't know how to get to the Deadlands, you back out where you can see all of this stuff here. The Deadlands is this Oblivion symbol here. And then the Abomination Cradle boss is this boss here that's in the northern eastern area. You're going to probably the closest way to get there would be to port to the False Martyr's Folly Way Shrine, and then you just ride west over this way and then up to kill the boss. I highly recommend you bring a couple of people with you to kill this boss, because the Deadlands world bosses are particularly difficult to solo. They have mechanics in there that you usually need to have a buddy to kind of assist you with, either an interruption or something like that. Or they've got several different ads that come out. I highly recommend that you bring a buddy, or just say, hey, I'm going to farm a lead in the Deadlands. Can I get some help from your guildmates? Something like that. But this is the lead location for the Petrified Daedroth Horn. So in the next, get back down here to the Deadlands section and get into the Mythic again. And the next one is the Void Alloy Rivets. This drops from Dremora monsters of in any zone. So that is a very wide variety of places you can go. There is a public dungeon here in Shadowfen that has a lot of Dremora in it, you can come in here into the Sanguine's Demesne, or however that's pronounced. If you port to the Stormhold Way Shrine and ride east and go into here, there are a ton of Dremora in this public dungeon as well. So that would be an easy location to farm that. The next lead location, and again, that's for any Dremora in a zone. So if you've got a location that works better for you, definitely farm that area. Just giving you a heads up on that. So the next one is the Void Alloy Lame Plates, and that is farmed from Leyawiin Safeboxes. So that for this lead, you'd have to actually go to Blackwood and go inside the city of Leyawiin. Now, a really easy way to do this is if you have the access to add-ons, use the Harvest Map add-on, and that will put pins on your map. And all you have to do is make sure for your filters, make sure you have the justice containers enabled. And then when you run around and look for stuff, you can make sure that you have the ability to see where the lockboxes are. As you can see, this little white pin right here, it will tell you where they spawn. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a guaranteed box out at that time, but you can at least go and check where they are supposed to be, and that will help you locate them. As you can see, there's a bunch over here by the crafting area, and I'm of course not in the area there to go through that way, but we'll go look in there real quickly, and I can show you where they spawn in the crafting area for Leyawiin. There's one back here by the clothing station, and it is not sitting there. These are very commonly popped open because they're just sitting there waiting for. Okay, this one right here is very common to get. Just go around and make sure you're hidden, and you can pop the lock. And again, I'm using a. Okay, I did not get the lead there. I'm using an add-on there, FCO Lock Picker as well. So that was a reason why you could see the green check marks. If you're curious about that add-on, I will put my link to all my add-on videos in the description. But let's get into the journal here and go to the Deadlands again. And I will look up the next location here. It's the Aureal Armor Glaze. And this is from the Shivering Shrine World Boss. Okay. And so how you get this is you need to go to Stone Falls, a very popular area right now in the game because of the encounters that are happening over here near the Hagrid's Hold Way Shrine. But the Shivering Shrine World Boss is right here on the kind of the western side of the map. It is the lower world boss. These Cave of Memories is the top world boss. The Shivering Shrine is the lower on the western side. So what you're probably going to want to do is come here to the Sathram Plantation Way Shrine. We'll just port there and show you where the world boss is in this video. And so just put a mark on him. That way, if anybody doesn't have this area discovered or they don't have add-ons to reveal this stuff, you can run up these little ladders that helps you run up the hill. And this world boss is another one that can kind of hit a little bit hard. So if you want to try and bring somebody to help you out, maybe there's somebody in your guild that needs the entire Mythic as well, like you, and maybe you can team up and get those done. There are some clan fairs that come out on this, so that might tie into the next. Okay, I did not get the lead there. I did. So the next and final lead comes from, get back down here to the Deadlands. This is the Clannfear Leather Strapping. So this is the one that I had the most trouble with, if I remember correctly. I'm going to show you a location that is pretty populated with Clannfears. Um, I know that Clannfears are kind of all over the game in different areas, but we'll just ride back over here to the Way Shrine. And we're going to port again to the Deadlands, which is another convenient way of getting there, or I should say getting the lead, because if you do actually get the lead, you can just dig it up right where you're at, or at least find the location. The Deadlands, this area over here, the Blood Pit, there's a lot of Clannfairs and things over here in this area. The Deadlands probably is one of the best places to hunt the Dremora and the Clannfairs specifically. It is a little bit more of a difficult zone than some, so if you are kind of a little bit lower level or maybe not on a great build, you might want to try and bring a companion or some help with you. And like I said, just type in your guild chats that you're hunting the leads for the Spaulder of Ruin. For example, here's a Dremora right here. He could possibly drop the lead from the Dremora drops. There are a lot of Clannfairs in this zone overall, but there's a lot. There's the Blood Pit has a clusters of enemies together, so there are Watchers as well, and that could have a possible drop of another Mythic. I believe that has part of the Mora's Whispers tied to it. But there are a lot of different. There's Dremora down here. Clannfairs are another good place if you want to farm the banished cells. There's some Clannfairs in that dungeon as well. But there are Dremora down here. There's all kinds of enemies clustered together. You could possibly get a drop of the lead while you're farming down here, but I would recommend that you farm as many locations as you can for the Clannfear strap, because it can be difficult. A very common place actually is Cold Harbor. There's a lot of Clannfairs in Cold Harbor. You can pretty much run around and there's Clannfairs everywhere. Probably also a great place to farm the Dremora as well. If you go inside the public dungeon, the Village of the Lost, there's probably going to be a lot of opportunity there to find the Mythic lead. So that would be my suggestion. Before I close out the video, I'm going to make a recommendation that you check specifically in your Codex to make sure that you don't actually already have any of these leads in your inventory. And the reason why I bring that up, leads last for a very long time now. They used to only last for 30 days maximum when you were a ESO Plus member. And now they have extended those to last for a year if you are an ESO Plus member. So if you're not, it's a 6-month time. So if you are possibly trying to go out here and farm this, you may have already gotten the lead and just didn't know what it was, didn't dig it up at the time, and just kind of left it sitting there. It's very easy to do. I've done it myself. Trust me. It's a lot easier to just check real quick to make sure you do or don't have the lead, and then you can make sure that you still need to farm it. How you can check that is if you are on your character that can dig up leads, you go to Journal, you go to Antiquities, and you go up here to Scryable. Then if you're in the Deadlands, you can go to your current zone here and you can verify whether or not, see, I've got the Aureal Armor Glaze right here, which is going to make this not drop. And there's the Void Alloy Rivets. As you can see, I still have 210 days to dig this up. And that is why those two leads are not dropping, because I already have those in the inventory. So, and then these are leads that require, or excuse me, these require you to get the lead. This is stuff that I've already dug up previously, but I just don't have an active lead for it. And then this section up here is stuff that I have pending, waiting to dig up if I choose to. So just check and see if you have, it'll tell you if you found it already. That means you've dug it up previously, and you don't need to dig it up again unless you want to. But that's going to be the end of the video. If you thought this was useful or helpful, please consider liking the video and subscribing to my YouTube channel. I have a very large catalog of videos on my channel. They are organized by playlists. If you go to my main page and you go to my playlist tab, you'll be able to find all those playlists. They're organized by subject. I have a tanking folder there, DPS folder, healer stuff, add-ons, general guides, all kinds of stuff. Check them out, see if there's anything there that interests you. Thank you very much again for watching, and I will see you in another video. Bye.